the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. The second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They go play action here on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
All right, here we go. Green.
Back to the air on second down. Moses. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, it's like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now back to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Hey, here we go. White 90.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
And that is incomplete.
Like, why can't my O-line
Not
do
only was
that
the call
when it's
spot
objectively
on,
better
how
on
about
every...
the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go. What?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Come on, let's go. What?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Room to run past midfield. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Ross
A
Gentry
great
is
play
a
there.
tank.
His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 28-0. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. For the fourth quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Moses, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Able to avoid him at the 40. Still going. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing right, and that's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll go on the ground. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Moses. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Moses. And a scary incompletion. Almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 3rd down. Moses. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. From the gun, Moses. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame him for taking the... And he's into the clear. He's at the 40, 30, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
On first down, Moses. Going right side here, and that's complete. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Back to throw. Moses, incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And his throw here's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Moses. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go!
And they'll run it here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
3 down, 3 down. Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Here we go!
They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.